And good evening, everybody. I am Rufus Bill, and I'd like to welcome you to Talking To, which is a weekly human interest story every Sunday from 7 o'clock until usually to about 8 o'clock p.m. in the evening. And if you're listening to us live, we would like to say thank you so very much. And if you're catching us at the rebroadcast or later on this evening or later on in the week, thank you so much for listening. We invite you to share and like Talking To. We deal with so many topics that are so interesting and that are so relevant for today's time. We deal with the good, we deal with the bad, and everything in between. And with that, we would like to say, good evening, Justin Hurd. How are you doing, buddy?
What up, though?
What up, though?
How you feeling today?
I'm great. How you feeling today?
I'm just fine. I'm just fine.
You fine?
Yeah, man. Not a bad day.
Good.
Not a bad day.
Good.
You know, a lot of bad news in the world today, though.
So yes, there is.
We have to deal with that. But,
right. But all in all,
the good, bad. You just left one out, the ugly. You gotta deal with
good, I bad, did leave that out. I'll remember next time.
Yeah.
And would you do the honors of introducing our other host?
Well, we want to introduce the fragrance of the show, none other than Miss Joanne Tosin Fuller.
Good afternoon, Joanne Tosin Fuller.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm great. I am great. I cannot complain at all.
I know.
Even with all the good, the bad, and the ugly, I still cannot complain. I cannot.
Definitely. How was your day today?
It was good. Busy but good.
Good.
Yeah. Yes.
Good.
How about you?
My day was very nice today. You know, this was Fifth Sunday, and so usually in the churches on Sunday church, that's the mass choir day.
Okay.
And I am so glad that they were on point. Because had they not
you kept them on point, right?
Joanne and Justin, you have to go in there with your fingers crossed and just hope for the best.
Don't disappoint me.
Don't disappoint
so you don't have that eye look or that
I do.
That
and in fact, I decide I look at them and roll my eyes. So that is not what I thought.
Throw a shoe at them.
Right. How about that?
Pick off the shoe and just
right in the forehead.
Got you.
Well, Justin, I know you and your church have been diligently working for a big event. Is that still happening this coming Sunday?
So no.
Okay.
We had some setbacks.
All right.
With the city, Clinton Township. So because of it's just a whole bunch of red tape. So
always.
The school, the building is zoned for a school. So we had to get special usage for a church. Those committees that only can approve that only meet once a month.
Oh wow.
That meeting is not until March 15th.
Get out.
Right. And then they have to I guess the not public safety, but building safety has to come and inspect. Now they've come and inspect, but they don't announce they don't have their next meeting until March 15th. Oh, so these jokers got us, we're cutting red tape and kind of leaving it up to us saying, well, you can't really have church, but if it's a prayer gathering it's just like all of these things, and it kind of leaves us up in the air because the building that we're in, we're actually selling it.
Okay.
So now we're trying to hope that they'll be gracious to give us, the time that it's going to take for us to move to our new location, or we won't have a home for a few weeks because of all this red tape.
Exactly.
And I'm at the point where I'm just like, look, skip it. If they catch us having church, what they gonna do? Write us a ticket? Or is just say that, because my whole thing is, if it's the build, and this is what I have to get clarity on. I'm going to call a lawyer friend and find out.
Mm-hmm.
People say we can't occupy. Well, occupancy means what? Does that mean putting a name on the building? Because the building is ours, so we
Right.
can go in it, but we don't have to say it's blank church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could just say it's me having a meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in my meeting, I got organs and drums and piano. Well, I can't. How can y'all tell me I can't do that
At my meeting.
in my meeting?
Just
This is a meeting.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, so pray for us. We're up against that, and I mean we've been dealt with a lot of curveballs. You know, they want plans. Getting plans for buildings are very expensive. You know,
Yes,
they
they
are
are.
to get plans for buildings, and we're not building anything other than a stage.
Okay.
You know what I mean, so they wanted us to pull plans though for the whole building. But like nothing has changed. It's
Right.
the same. It's the same. So a whole bunch of red tape. I just think that it's just one of those things that the latter shall be greater. It's just get through the process, and just little hiccups here and there are going to be just fine.
Wonderful. And for those of you who do not know what the three of us are talking about, Justin's church and the congregation have purchased a new building, and they're going to be going into their new edifice very soon.
Yeah.
What's the name of the church?
Conqueror's Church.
Conqueror's Church.
Yep,
Yes.
we're located right in Roseville right now at the moment, temporarily. We're right next to the Sam's Club. We sit between Sam's Club and JC Penney's, right next to the gas station. It's a building over there that we use as our church currently, but we'll be moving down the street to the old Baker College, Gratiot 15 Mile. On the south side of the street. Well, it's southbound Gratiot, but it's the west side of the street, west side of Gratiot.
Okay.
Yeah, right behind. So for some reason, when you GPS our location, it sends you to Hertz, whatever, because our building sits in between the Amalam School, the Hertz, and then it's us, but we sit back off of Gratiot. So it's like you can't
hidden have from you.
Right, you have to go through the Baker College lot and then go through the back, and then you will see the building. But it sends you to Hertz. But if you at Hertz, if you just look behind Hertz, you'll see our building. So that's where we'll be, Lord willing. We thinking now maybe sometime in March.
Okay.
It all depends on these board and approvals and stuff.
Yeah.
But we know that God can change that in the twinkling of an eye.
Yes, he
That's
can.
right. That's right.
Yes,
he can. Yes, he
Yes,
can.
he can.
And he's done it before.
He's done it before.
And he'll do it again.
And he'll do it again. Don't let me get on my piano.
Turkey and stuff.
And get my offering plate too. Somebody told me, they said, Rufus, Justin and Joanne are so intelligent and they just speak so well, and you just come across as being silly. I said,
what?
What?
You always saying something.
Oh wow.
I said, whatever.
You have a fan. Sound like you might have a fan.
I told him, I said, well, you'll never get on this show.
Sound like you got a fan. That was something to me.
Definitely. Oh, I ain't gonna say that.
All right.
Joanne always tell me. Every time I get ready to say something, not even just here, Joanne pop into my head.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that is too funny. But if you're just now listening to us, or just tuning in, it's Talking to Joanne Tosin Fuller, Justin Hearn, and we're so glad that you're with us. And we got a great show, great topic coming up real soon after our chit chat time, and you're going to really, really enjoy the conversation of the topic that we're going to have. But before we get to that the country, if not the world, has been just once again just I don't even know what word to use in shock. We'll just say keep it simple about the horrific situation in Memphis, Tennessee, with the was it the 5 officers that brutally beat Tyree Nichols. I don't know.
Mercy.
I don't even know what to say.
Mercy.
Joanne.
What's sad is that they, you got the cousins or the white folks beaten, and now you're beating your own. And then while you're beating them, you're calling them bro. I mean, it's what? Why?
There.
How? Like you said, it's almost like there are no word. What do you say to
What do
that?
you
What
say?
what? And I understood, I've been watching, I haven't watched the video because I really don't want to see the whole video. I really don't. But just can you just give a reason? And it sounded like they had their own little club, their own little, because it sounded like this wasn't the first time.
Right. The Scorpion.
And it sounds like they had that own little, and I forget what you call them, but they own little club that they just
do whatever.
This is who we are, and we just do. Because they say even the traffic stop was questionable.
Right.
So what? How?
And before you weigh in, Justin, because you can provide some insight on a whole different level than Joanne and I can because of your career. But one of the things that just shocked me was how small he was. He appeared to be very thin compared to those officers. And how they dragged him out of the car, and at a certain point when he said, "You all are doing a whole lot," and I'm looking at this, and there's over 60 minutes of footage, and I think I don't know if they've released all the footage, but they seem to be releasing it, as they feel appropriate. But to know that he was probably walking distance from his house, or not far from his house, how he was calling his mother, and he was just screaming to the top of his lungs, "Mom, mom, mom," and his mother said during that time she felt an insatiable pain in her stomach. I think it was. She didn't know what it was, but then after everything, she realized it was related to her son being violated. Justin,
yes.
What? I mean, what can you say? Add to this, especially being in the position that you're in.
There's no words that can justify. There's no words that can excuse what happened. Shouldn't have happened on so many different levels. It's inexcusable. Those officers failed themselves. They failed their families, their loved ones, the entire city of Memphis, as well as the family and the loved ones of that young man. We talk about excessive force. We talk about different things like this, and it's just this is the creme of the creme. This is the worst of the worst. Like, this is worse than Rodney King. This is worse than anything I've actually ever seen as it relates to excessive force. We have 5 officers. We have 1 gentleman. Now, like you said, the guy wasn't a big guy at all. You know what I mean? Force never looks good, and that's understandable. When you're forcing somebody to do something, it never looks good. But this is what we call excessive force. It doesn't take 2 of them to beat him, to kick him, to spray him with pepper spray, to get his bony behind in some handcuffs and into a car. So with that being said, I think that this was intentional. They wanted to beat him. They had, for whatever reason, I don't know if he's an informant maybe, or there has to be some type of more. There's something more here than a random traffic stop, pulling a random guy out the car and then beating him like that. So I know for a fact, I saw the police chief's statement that they were a specialized unit, and I would probably guessing, but I would say they probably dealt with drugs, guns, illegal narcotics. So I would say they was a booster crew, as we would call them, some to that capacity. And I bet you any amount of money that he was either an informant, he was working with them, giving them information, because this thing was personal. It wasn't just a traffic stop. And because you got smart, this was payback. It was so personal. I mean,
Yes.
anytime that multiple people are kicking somebody that's down on the ground, it's personal. It's more to it than that. So I'm looking for more details to come out about the stop and everything like that, because I think it's way more to the story. But the bottom line is that this should never have happened. Those officers deserve to be prosecuted to the highest extent of the law requires. And the city of Memphis owes I mean, that family, everything. I mean, I don't know how much money they gonna get out of it, but they deserve to get every dollar and penny of it. And just to go back really quick, something I know about Memphis is the police chief that's there now. She's relatively new, within the last couple years, but there's been many problems with the Memphis Police Department. And now that this thing has happened, there's always that one thing that causes an internal audit, and the DOJ comes in and they're able to establish certain practices and stuff like this. We've seen this happen in Baltimore, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with what happened in Baltimore, and the DOJ had to come in there. So I think that you're going to see a total cleaning, and you're going to see a total looking at of how they police from top to bottom. I think that's extremely necessary. These people were empowered to do what they do. So it lets me know that they're not the first time they beat somebody like this, and everything, but unexcusable, by far, not a representation of the men and women that serve that community, this community. We understand that there's bad people everywhere, so
Mm-hmm.
let's not generalize all police officers.
Right.
Let's not do that. But at the end of the day, they made poor decisions, and they deserve to be held accountable for those decisions. And I think that when things like this happen, it never feels good. It's always bad that life has to be lost. But I think that this sends shockwaves across the nation and makes us really look at how we police, why we police, and to look at those practices and make sure they're in alignment and we're policing constitutionally.
Yes. What?
You, I didn't, Joanne. I didn't even think about that perspective, that this was something personal.
Mm-hmm.
But as Justin was describing that, I'm thinking, yeah, yes. And even when he said, "You all are doing a whole lot," he was calm about it, as if he was familiar with those guys.
Right.
Exactly.
Now that he said that, and I'm thinking, because he asked, "Why did you stop me?" But normally, if you not really knowing them, you're going on, "Well, why you stop me? And you did this and the other." But he was calm. He's like, "You're doing a whole lot now," and
Mhm.
And
even
I,
to the point when they were telling him to get on the ground, he's like, "I'm on the ground." It's like, lay on your stomach. Now he had he was not going to do that, and he didn't do that, not on his own. And I'm observing that, and I'm thinking, I didn't know what to think, at the time, because you're watching this and you've seen the reports, and all you're just thinking is like, wow, these black guys are beating up this black guy like this.
but you know what? It made me think. And some clients and I, we were having a discussion, and and that was one of the things that came to my mind was, okay, is he a drug lord that they can't, or somebody that they have been trying to get,
Mm-hmm.
or like you said, Justin, was he a snitch? Was
Mhm.
he a, but you used the correct term, an
Informant.
informant?
The
But
snitch.
it was.
Thought it was snitch.
But who was he that they went after him like that?
Exactly.
He had to be somebody. He was not Joe Blow off the street. He
Mm-hmm.
had to meet, and that was our conversation this week. And then another thing was, do you forget that there are cameras everywhere? Do you forget that you have body cam? Do you forget, or are you so enraged that doesn't even play
Register.
into your register into your mind
Mm-hmm.
that even if you think you can go somewhere and erase it or whatever, that they can get it.
They can get it.
They can get it.
They can get it.
So it's like all of that. Like here, we have street cameras all over the place that people don't even know we have.
Right.
They have no clue where they are, but trust me, we have them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know down there they do.
Yes.
I mean, everywhere now. Everywhere. And so it's like, wow, that you're so enraged that you think just because somebody's not there with their phone, that you forget that, it reminds me of that show. I used to love that show, Person of Interest.
Oh, Person of, yes.
It reminds me of that no matter where you go, you're being watched.
You're being watched.
Or you could be seen.
I hope that we going back to Trayvon Martin case, right? Mm-hmm. I believe that Trayvon Martin killer, whatever his name was acquitted because they charged him with the wrong thing. They tried to charge him with first-degree murder. First-degree murder is premeditated. That has to be there, which means that when he woke up that morning or somewhere along that day, he thought about, I'm gonna kill Trayvon Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't prove that, in that case, and you can't prove that he killed him because he was black. You can't prove that, and so that case was lost, I believe, because they brought up on the wrong charge. Now they're gonna try. I don't know what the charges have been yet, whatever, but I hope that it's like, second degree murder. That would be something. Great bodily harm causing death or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I hope they don't try to go with first degree murder, because you're not going to be able to prove that all of them, you know what I'm saying, woke up in the morning and got him out the car to kill him. You know what I mean?
They went searching for him that day,
and they was trying to kill him. You're not going to prove. You're not going to find that. So I just hope that whoever is, prosecuting this case is really looking at that. And then 2, 5 people can't kill one person.
Mm-hmm.
One of them did the blow that did it, right?
No, that's not necessary. Well, he died from his injuries. He didn't die because he didn't die on the street because they beat him. He died days later. Mm-hmm. But even then, only one person you can't charge 5 people with, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
So there's one person, so how are they gonna filter through all that? I have no idea. That's gonna be something interesting to watch. But fact of the matter is, those officers need to be held accountable. By far, it was disgusting. Most disgusting thing I've ever seen from a law enforcement agency. And I hope that the city of Memphis do what they need to do to make sure that they're practicing constitutional policing.
Yes.
Let's see here. One factor about the situation to me is how fast and how swift, and really without any notification to at least to people outside of Memphis, that they did the investigation, they fired the police, and then they charged them. And we have seen in other cities where there have been not African-American officers to do the same thing. And none of that has happened so swiftly.
Yeah.
They may put them on desk duty, or they may suspend them with pay, and then they wait a minute before any of this occurs. It may take up maybe a month or 2. But what do you think about that, Joanne?
I think, and it does seem like it's always with us. They move with us. They, I think they moved with this one. It's just my opinion. It don't mean nothing, but it just because people were in an uproar.
Mm-hmm.
And so to help with that, to help kind of keep things, because, as you saw last week, they were telling people, we know you're angry. We know you're upset. We know you're mad. We know you, but please, please, please. They had the attorneys on TV. They had these people the police chief, please, you know. So I think they were afraid of that riotous mentality coming out strong. And
Yeah,
you know,
that's
yeah,
exactly what it was. I think that so a lot of times what you see across the world is that, you know, we become reactive and not proactive.
right.
And I think that George Floyd case, that kind of sets the president, that set the presidents to how to handle situations like this, because it took so long, because it took this. As a result, you see that. And so now that becomes what we call case law, you know, to say, okay, this is how we have to do it, you know. I don't know if you guys remember, but this is probably 2 summers ago. We had the guy named by the name of, I can't remember his first name, but last name was Little John, who our violent crime task force was after, and they saw him, and when they went to pick him up, and the guy went to grab him, Little John, whatever his name is, pulled a gun from his waistband and point blank range shot at one of our officers, and luckily missed. I mean, it was point blank range and missed.
Wow.
And then one of our officers was able to put him down. You know, they had, I mean, hundreds or thousands of people had gathered at the 12th precinct. They were talking about riot. They were talking about all of this, and that was the first time that the city of Detroit, under Chief Craig, had ever released an unedited video, because it was so essential that all of this false. No, there was reports that he wasn't doing anything. He was sitting on his porch, and we shot him for no reason. There were so many reports going out that something had to get out. And so I think that what we're understanding is that these people are not going to be prosecuted, and they're not going to have trial all on the same day. So you always can charge and recharge. You can charge and then drop charges and then recharge. So the best thing to do is to do something so that people can know that you're paying attention, versus trying to take your time. And that's what they do. They're taking their time because they want to make sure they get all the charges right.
Okay.
We ain't got time for that. Just throw some charges on there, and then you can go back and you can correct it. You can fix it later. You know, that's not a problem. You can drop charges and change charges.
Let the people see that we're moving. Let
we're
the people
doing
see
something.
that we're on top of this.
So
I think
I think ever since that, you know, you're gonna see the speed of things change.
Yeah.
So it's being reported that the officers have been charged with second-degree murder, and also, and we're glad that you explained the difference between first and second, and then kidnapping charges that includes kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression.
Yeah, so I'm not familiar with official oppression. I don't know if that's a Memphis law, but I don't really know what that is. Kidnapping, that's going to be kind of I guess hard to that's going to be hard to prove, because that would mean they took him without his will. And most states have a motor vehicle code book that's thicker than the Bible. You know what I mean? So an officer at any time can come up with any reason why he stopped you. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like kidnapping. I mean, unless I don't know if they put him in a car and drove him. From my understanding, they took him out the car and he was there on the street, right? They didn't transport him anywhere, right? So kidnapping, that I highly doubt that actually sticks. But definitely second degree murder, you know, causing death, definitely, you know, acting, I guess, officiously, you know what I mean, or, you know, not abusing your powers or whatever, obstruction of justice, all the type of stuff. Yeah. So, you know, we'll see.
So now the official impression supports what you said earlier, Justin. It says an ideal feeling or opinion about something or someone, especially one formed without conscious thought or on the basis of little evidence. So when I a feeling or opinion about something or someone, it kind of supports where you not kind of, but supports where you said this had to be something more.
Yeah, it had to be. You don't just, like I said, you thought, and then it's. I mean, initially, how many guys was it?
of the police officers?
Yeah.
Initially, it was 5.
Okay, so you had a 5-man crew jump out on one guy, get him out the car, and all type of stuff. It's like I said, it's more to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he must have been an informant. He was a neighborhood guy that they deal with, that they know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Something this just not just doesn't just happen. You know.
And to do it so close to home, that even sent a message to the people in the neighborhood, in that community, and especially if he was an informant, the possibility of him being an informant. Look what we will do.
Right.
You know, look what we will do.
Yeah. And this says, I typed for official oppression in the state of Tennessee. It's their law 39-16-403. A public servant acting under color of office or employment commits an offense who intentionally subjects another to mistreatment or to arrest, detention, stop, frisk, halt, search, seizure, dispossession, assessment, or lien when the public servant knows the conduct is unlawful.
Wow.
So that's the Tennessee law.
Okay.
Meaning of official oppression.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you know, as the case unfolds and different people will come out, not just about this particular situation, but whoever that they've dealt with. And you know, in other cases, because as you said earlier, Joanne, this is nothing new to those officers.
No. So I'm waiting to see. I'm wondering how many other cases are going to come out about those 5.
And you know, I thought that Rodney King's situation was bad, and it was bad. And Malice Green remember Malice Green from Detroit?
From here.
But this one, just to see that, now Malice Green had the 4 officers, but they were nowhere, first of all, in shape like these 5. The size was different. And just to watch them just, you know, fist punching him in his head.
Yeah.
And then the other guy just ran up and just kicked him.
Yeah.
Continuously, you know?
Yeah.
Very sad, very sad. But we know we're going to keep listening and watching, because as details unfold, we're going to get the narrative of actually what really is going on.
What's going on? Yeah, for sure.
So we know the month of February is a very historic month. We celebrate Black History.
Yes, sir.
Although we celebrate it every day.
I'm 365, 24/7.
Right. How about that?
Thought I'd let you know.
Thank you very much. But also, it's the month of love.
It's the love month.
It's the love month.
Love month.
And we want to encourage everyone listening, please join in the conversation. You can go to our chat and type in something, and we can do your comments. And by all means, please join. So by February 14th, which is going to be a special day for someone special, however, for everybody that's looking to be in love or are in love, or they're staying hopeful about finding that special person, we have some tips and some ideas that may help get the desired desired whatever it is that you want.
The desires of your heart.
The desires of your heart.
Alice, I know you in love.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because you know because I always tell people, watch your little dates around the holidays, because that's when they want to cut up. I said, but don't cut up with them. Just say, yes, baby. Yes, daddy. Yes, mama. Yeah, you know, and be smooth. Dr. Eloquent Weaver, thank you for listening. Be smooth and just don't respond until that 14th. Now, if you don't get that ring, Cut up.
Rufus.
You didn't get that fur coat. Cut up.
Cut up.
Who was that sing the song, Justin? You need to cut it.
Yeah.
But Justin's gonna lead us into some
That's
things.
why Rufus put me in his mouth all
That's
the
why.
Right.
That's why.
So I guess the first thing that I want to let everybody know is
Okay.
don't be married to February 14th, right? So we know February 14th is what we call Valentine's Day. We know that that's the day, but if you're in a romantic relationship, you should definitely be celebrating your partner more than just one day. So that day moves. Sometimes it's on a Friday, sometimes on a Saturday, sometimes on a Monday, whatever. Doesn't matter. You know, you might have work that day and everything like that. That's okay. Then pick a day. Just pick your day that you're going to celebrate Valentine's Day without the pressure of trying to make a date work when you got to go to work, you got to get the kids from school, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then all of a sudden you're tired, now you're aggravated, now the date is ruined, now you guys are arguing, all because you tried to do it on February 14th. So get that out of your mind. February 14th means nothing at all, okay? It means nothing at all. But if you want to celebrate Love Month, pick a day that's going to work for you and your partner. Make sure that day is agreed upon. Maybe, but first, before you do that, make sure you ask your spouse. Make sure you ask them for permission and say, "Hey, don't just do it because then they might, listen. Women is crazy, okay? They might be like,
what? Wait a minute.
Look, women is crazy. They might be like, you know what? You just trying to celebrate Valentine's Day with somebody else. You know what I mean? So don't do that. So just say, hey, listen, I understand that February 14th, and ladies too, you're gonna be worked. How about we do the 20th? How about we do this? How about we do that? And I think that you would get a lot more from it, from setting that expectation was realistic for your relationship than trying to do something that's not going to be conducive for your relationship. So make sure the day works for y'all. That's number one. Make sure the day works for you.
I would have never thought that.
Yeah, that's what's important.
Making sure the date works for both parties. What do you think, Joanne?
I agree.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can plan things, and if it's in your head, but if the other person, like you said, if they're working and then they make plans to do this after they get off work or whatever, but you didn't share that, now you're saying, well, I'm going to take you out to dinner and a movie, or I'm going to take you, and it's like, but I can't go. Because I already have, so it's a lot of things, and when you're working together, I agree with what Justin said. I really do.
And then too, restaurants and movie theaters, or especially restaurants, are extremely crowded, which makes for bad service because if you have to wait, and then the kitchen is backed up, so now you're getting lackluster food, lackluster effort. So, it's just like it may be a good idea to maybe just share a gift on that day. Maybe if you plan on buying, maybe you say, here, happy Valentine's Day. Here, I thought about you. This is for you. But Friday, Sunday, or whatever day, we're going to go out and we're going to have an outward expression of that love. But don't be married to February 14th because
I like that.
I like that too.
I like that.
February 14th is for Hallmark. Okay, it's for Hallmark. It's for Hallmark. It's for Hallmark. It's for flower industry. It's for that works for them, but make sure his work is going to work for you and your partner.
Point number one: don't be married to that date.
Don't be married
14th. Okay.
Number two is don't be afraid to think outside of the box. Yo, think outside of the box. You don't have to go to dinner. You don't have to go to a movie. There's many things that you can do that are good date night spots. One thing that I want to expose our audience to, if you haven't heard of this place, is a place called The Hub. The Hub is a place that is in Novi. They have one in Rochester, Pontiac area, and I believe there's another one down south. But I mean, not down south, but South Michigan, Taylor, down there somewhere. It's somewhere south.
Downriver.
The Hub is a great place that features. It's a live atmosphere, so there's always music going. There's plenty of bars if you plan on drinking or anything like that. But also there's axe throwing. You know what I mean? This is not casual. common everyday thing. You can throw an axe and you get scored for it. There's foaling. Foaling, if you don't know, is bowling and football in one, where you're throwing a bowling ball to knock down pins.
Right.
And depending on which one you go to, they have this ice game. I'm not even really sure what the name of it is, but I know I've seen it on the Olympics. But it's a pretty nice place where you can go to, where you can rent a lane and you can have some good fun. That is not typical dinner in a movie. You know what I mean? Different things like that. So that's one. Another
And
thing,
I've gone to that
you
place.
go to the place also
I went there in December.
in December,
And
and then
I was impressed with it.
yeah, and
Because
then
I would have never thought about doing that, but
you want to.
the group I did, they thought of it.
Okay. There's also a foaling place in the Hamtramck, Detroit area called the Detroit Foaling Warehouse. There you can order in food there. They don't have any food. They do have bar drinks for sale, different things like that. And it's just foaling. There's no axe throwing or anything extra. It's just foaling and have a good time. You can like rent your own lane where it's private for just you and your date, or
Okay.
you can get go into like a random group where you may mix and mingle with other people. So don't be afraid to think outside of the box, outside of the traditional things and stuff like that. So you can go to the hub. That's a place you can go to. Sometimes it's good to be a kid again. Go to Dave and Buster's.
I love David.
Go play some games and different things like that. Like literally think outside of the box. Don't just because everybody's going to be at the movies, everybody's going to be at fine star dining restaurants. Maybe even switch it up if your schedule allows. Maybe go to brunch and not dinner.
Yes.
That's a good option. Have a brunch date instead of a dinner date. The next place that I want to expose you to, that if you're thinking about um going somewhere or whatever, but there's this place called Hannah's Steakhouse. It's a Japanese steakhouse, relatively new to downtown. It sits right on the corner of Shelby and Congress.
Okay.
It's a beautiful spot. I mean, the spot is the ambiance. It reminds you of something off of a movie. They have
Really?
flowers all over the ceilings. They have music going, and then they change that bridge. That bridge that crosses over the buildings on Congress and Shelby. It used to be a bridge. They turned that bridge into they call
Yeah.
it the skybox. So you actually can have dinner on the bridge that overlooks Shelby and different things like
Oh
that.
wow.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Really, really nice place. Japanese steakhouse. I actually went this past weekend and I had the Japanese chicken and waffles, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And they
You
also
said Hannah's.
it's called
Hannah's?
Hannah's. Yep, it's called Hannah's Japanese Steakhouse. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
That in my
Menu
notes.
menu menu was not overly priced. It's definitely more on the more expensive side, but it wasn't like ridiculously priced.
Okay.
Food was good, staff and service were good, and we waited a little longer because we wanted to sit in the skybox. We
Ah.
waited a little longer for that, but um, that's awesome. And then, I don't know if you guys are familiar with these places, but they call them squeak easies, right? So it's called a squeak easy. And so what a squeak easy is, in that same building that Hannah's in, if you go in the basement of that building, they have a coffee shop that's always open, but it's a squeak
Mm.
easy. So if you go in there and you say, "I'm here for the squeak easy," they take you to this secret door, and you open this door, and it's like a bank vault, and there it is, another restaurant and a party going on. But you can go in there for coffee and you can go right back out, and you will never know unless somebody tell you. Like, it's a squeak easy. And there's many squeak easies. I'm just now finding out about these, but there's so many around the city of Detroit where if you go there for that, you let somebody know, like, yeah, I'm here for not the coffee, but I'm here for something else. They'll be like, okay, you want the squeak easy. And then they'll secret door that you don't even know is there, and you go in, I'm telling you, it's a bank vault. It's a real bank vault. The safety deposit boxes are there. They're still in the wall or whatever, and you're in this coffee shop, and then you just this secret door, and then just like, wow, it's a whole live party going on in here. So there's a lot of squeak easy places that are popping up around the city in the Detroit area, also in the Royal Oak area as well. And those are pretty dope. It adds something else to the night because you walk into a place and your date might be thinking like, oh, okay, like, oh, we had a coffee shop, and you're like, nah, we going on a secret mission. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can add something to it, for sure.
So that's old school. That's old school.
Yeah.
Old school. We used to call them after hour joints.
So those are illegal. Okay.
I know.
These are not.
Oh boy! Look, talk about
no, but that's the
Joanne.
No, I got you. But no, but I guess my point is that these squeak easies they're fully licensed and functional. They're not not the after hours spot. You know what I'm saying?
We know wait.
Just legit.
We about to get in Joanne's business just for 1 minute.
No, you're not. Keep talking, Justin. Keep talking.
But the Squeak Easy, is that on the corner of Shelby and Congress?
Yep, it's right on the corner. So Hannah's, you walk into that building. If you go in or you go up, you at Hannah's. If you go down to the basement, there's the coffee shop, and then the Squeak Easy is inside the coffee shop.
I think they used to be the Michigan National Bank.
Yep, there's a bank. Yeah, probably so. There's a bank. That's where it's inside the vault for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So what else you got?
All right.
Because you giving us some great ideas.
Some great ideas.
And so I want the fellas to step it on up.
Step it on up.
That's right.
Don't be cheap.
Let's get into gift buying. Let's get into gift buying.
Oh, gift buying. That's my favorite.
Yeah. So listen, here's a trick. Here's a trick. I learned this. You can go to a flower shop and you can, buy a bouquet of flowers, or you can go this route, right? You can go to Kroger, right? You can get you 12, roses, maybe for $17, $18. And then they have the flowers that are they're like buds, but they're white. They're like, I don't know what they're called. They're white. They're just like little white buds or something like that.
Like baby's breath?
Like maybe they are called baby's breath. What you do is if you add that to the roses, it changes it makes it look like there's this whole big, bouquet. And in reality, no, them little white little things that you added.
They add a lot. They do. Those are baby's breath.
Yeah, baby. Okay. It makes it look so much grand. And you can have them at Kroger. They will wrap it for you. They'll put it in whatever, you know what I'm saying, and get you together. So you don't have to spend tons of money. You can literally just add a little bit of this and a little bit of that to some flowers. Here you go. Yeah. Right?
Okay.
So
you create your own bouquet.
Yeah. And you know who else has some beautiful roses too? It's Costco.
Costco, okay.
Really?
I use Costco for even a lot of my events. They're roses because they're beautiful, and you get like 2 dozen for like $20. And they're beautiful roses. They have beautiful flowers, period. But yeah, all kind. But yeah,
I would have never thought Costco.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
So and I'm just thought about this. I'm gonna throw this back in here. There's another new spot that's on Livernois, that's not on the Fashion of Avenue, but it's on Livernois. It's called the Ghost Bar. The place is immaculate. The way that they done did this place up and the way it looks on the inside, it looks something off of of a movie. But it's called the Ghost Bar. I've heard great. I haven't been there, but I heard great reviews on it, on the food and the drinks and the ambiance, whatever. So check out the Ghost Bar. Also on Monday nights, I think Valentine's Day is on a Tuesday, right?
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay, it's on a Tuesday. I think it's on Tuesday this year.
Tuesday.
Well, if you're available Monday, Baker's Keyboard Lounge has brought comedy nights back, and they have like $5 drink specials, and they have.
I like Baker's. Yeah,
they have comedians. They have good food too. They have good soul food and everything. So definitely, you can celebrate a day early, or you can add an additional day to the celebration, and you can go to Baker, get you some $5 drink specials or whatever you're going to do. Listening to some comedy. One of the guys that does comedy there, I actually met New Year's. He did a New Year's party, and the guy's name is Fago Red. Fago Red. He's really, really, really good. He was really, really funny. And I think Red is there as well. So it's Red and Fago Red. But there were some really dope people, some really amazing people. Baker's is a historical spot. Cindy, you can check it out. There's also another restaurant on Livinue. This is on the Avenue of Fashion. It's called Petty Cash. I don't know if you guys checked that out yet, but
I have checked that place out.
Check out. Okay, Petty Cash is a new.
Put out.
Wait, what?
It was the party I was with. When they come and say, "Are you ready for your check?" You're being put out. I'm sorry, just to go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But Petty Cash is another spot that you can go and check out there as well. If you're into super scenic, there's a Watermark that's in St. Clair Shores, right off of Jefferson. It's a nice, really nice restaurant. I'm not sure if they're doing the igloos this year, but you can like get your own personal igloo and it's heated. You can have dinner outside overlooking, the Lake St. Clair. So that's another spot to check out if you really want some ambiance and everything. And that's what I have for restaurants and spots to check out this Valentine's Day. Now, what I wanted to get to though is gifts. What do you buy? What should you buy? I think that what you buy for Valentine's Day definitely have to be based on the relationship, right? Now, if you got somebody new, you really like them,
okay,
and it's been going good for a while, I think that this is an opportunity to take the relationship to the next step, right?
That gift will do it.
The gift will do it. Because if you buy something that is serious enough, then she will know that, okay, he liked me for real. Okay. So and in the same token, if you ain't trying to take no next steps, don't be out here buying nothing serious. You go send the wrong message.
I agree.
That's true. I do too.
You're gonna send the wrong message. So you have to think that in mind, like, okay, where we at? Where we at? Because I know this for a fact. Women based their relationships, most, I wouldn't say all, nothing is 100%, but especially in non-marital, I would say non-marital is okay. Valentine's Day is a test to see where we at, right? Mm-hmm. How much money are you spending? Where you taking me? What you doing for me? This is really showing me what you think about us, right? So if you a no-show, it's like, oh, okay, well, shoot, I guess it ain't nothing. So I think this is a proving ground. So fellas, if you're trying to prove it, if you're trying to go after it, then you got to show up big.
Now's the time.
Now's the time. And now's the time. And so you say, well, what is the serious gift?
I was gonna ask.
What is the serious gift? I think you can't go wrong with diamonds, right? Nice diamond earrings, right?
You see that smile perk on Joanne's face. You said diamond. She just started beaming. She just started beaming. She said, yes, sir. It's diamonds, baby.
Diamonds.
I'm mad at you, Joanne.
I think diamonds is a good touch to show, hey, I'm really feeling you. I'm saying I'm thinking about, not only diamonds, but a nice necklace. They're making some pretty nice necklaces that are like name plates and different things like that. Mm-hmm. Something that they're gonna wanna if everything goes right, they would want to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? So something serious like that. A not so not serious, but another good gift is like perfume. You finding out there's a lot of new perfumes out here. Marc Jacobs has some new popular perfume that I know a lot of women are wanting. Daisy is a every woman is going crazy over Daisy. Marc Jacobs Daisy. Okay. At the moment, it's a very popular scent. So that's something that's not like, I'm in love, I'm thinking about taking the next step, but it's like, okay, Shorty,
I'm thinking about you.
I'm thinking about
you. Important.
Yeah. Yes.
Because perfume is not cheap.
No, it's not.
So cheap. That's a nice, I'm thinking about you. Yeah.
Yep. And so and then too, you got the people that that want to do the hotel rooms with the balloons and the, and all of that type of stuff, if that's what you into, there's lots of people, if you just ask around on Facebook that does it, that will come in, that'll set up the room, that'll do all of that stuff for you. So just a quick, simple post out, you can find people. I wanted to gather some names for you guys, but I didn't have time of people that does it, whatever. But whatever
Joanne
you
Tosa Fuller.
Joanne,
I'm gonna put her to work.
to decorate that room for you.
Look like I'm not working hard enough.
I know.
Yeah.
But
no, but yeah.
I love that idea with the hotel. Is that too much for the first Valentine's Day gift to send that kind of message, or do you think it's all right?
I mean, I think
it just depends.
It depends on the relationship. I mean, people meet and they get it in within a couple hours. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
That's true, though.
You're right.
I think it all depends.
With no balloons.
With no balloons and no hotel room. You know what I'm saying? And no gift. So,
and this is funny because some of my female friends, and I tell them all the time, I'll ask them, I said, well, what did he give you? Oh, he didn't give me nothing. I said, you head over heels and you haven't gotten anything? Well, it's not about that. But they're thinking from the female side of the fellowship, the camaraderie, the conversation. But I'm thinking from the male side, if you are interested in a woman, you need to start showing it instantly. Don't wait till Valentine's Day. Even if it's a card.
Yeah.
Something to let them know that, I'm digging you. Now, or put a little pocket change in that card. $50. At least this is what I tell my female friends. But they don't believe it, and that's why they don't have nothing. But go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, so definitely, that just all depends. But yeah, I mean, don't just spend your money and hope that she gonna come through. You got to know that she gonna come through if you gonna be trying to do hotel rooms and things like that. Those things are are nice. May need to be reserved for what I'm saying for the married folk, but neither here or there. People do what they do, and so that's the nature of people. So let them do it.
Make grown. That's what I said.
Right.
Grown. You can't dictate.
But you definitely want to know. Like, you definitely want to know. Don't just surprise nobody and come out with no hotel room. Like, you must you must need to know that they gonna come through. Like, you know what I'm saying? Be like, well,
I don't spend my money.
Right. What? I'm like a brother to you.
Right.
My older brother.
Oh, Chanel Chance. That's the other perfume that I wanted to get out. Chanel Chance is another popular perfume that ladies are really loving. And every woman is different. You might buy her something she don't like, and
you need to know too if she's floral, if she's spice, if she's you need to know what her scent. Like me, I can't wear spices. Spices go rancid on me, but I love florals, I love citrus. I can wear those very well. So you need to know, and that will let you, it, like for me, it will let me know that you're paying attention.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite fragrances, Joanne?
Ooh, I have so many. Well, I still get like Coach Love. I still get Versace, the yellow diamond and the crystal. Okay. I still get oh shoot, they just Lancome, the latest one.
Okay.
Oh my good, and it is so. It smells so good. Oh my goodness, Well, yeah, but you need to know what kind of what they can wear and what they can't wear.
Now we went through this holiday and we said, oh, this Valentine's Day is for women, and Valentine's Day, if it's not for men, listen,
for everybody.
It should be for everybody.
I think so too.
If you want to receive something, you should want to give something.
Give something
for sure.
I agree.
you
They
know,
say sweetest day is supposed to be for the man, but I just think, I think love should be whenever. It should be forever. If it's Valentine's, if it's sweetest day, if it's
right.
like you said, Rufus, and you should be showing it really all along.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like the icing, just something special that
A
you might not
bonus.
do. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, that should be another 365 24/7 that you
How
show
about that?
love.
How about
That
that?
you show love. And not that you always have to get stuff and do, all that kind of stuff, but you should be showing love 365 24/7.
So, ladies, let me help you out just real quick. Some good smelling. One of my all-time favorite colognes is Armani Code. I mean, to me, Armani Code is just, it smells great. I love it. But here lately, I've been into some Coco Chanel that smells great, and I've also been into some Versace. That's as great as well.
I like Versace too.
But those three, are some good. And then you got classics like the Polo. I know a lot of dudes like the Polo. You like the Gucci Guilty, the Unforgivable by Sean John. Those are some classics that I know that universally, men like. So the question becomes, ladies, what should you give a man for Valentine's Day? What are we looking for? What are we looking for? I'll say this. One of the best surprises, I think, from my perspective, that a woman could give a man on Valentine's Day is actually pay for the date, right?
Okay.
A man usually gives you a gift and then take you dinner somewhere. But if you actually pay for that dinner or pay for that outing or pay for whatever the activity is, that would be like, oh man, that would be, that would be refreshing. That would be appreciated. Like, not only are you serving me, but in this, I'm going to serve you as well. So
I like that.
yeah,
Me too. Yeah, I agree.
That'll be something that's good, and that's not something that got to be thought of, well thought out, whatever. And then two gift cards. I'm finding out that some I don't know, but I hear horror stories with my friends and how their spouses or loved ones just buy them terrible gifts. Like, why you buy me this? You ain't never seen me wear this before. Like, I've heard some really bad horror stories. So, ladies, you can't go wrong with a gift card. Just get the man a gift card. No, and listen, don't buy anybody, male or female, something you don't see. If they don't wear that, don't buy it.
But that just shows that you're not paying attention.
Exactly.
That's what that shows, is that if you don't know, and it depends on how long you've been together too, but that shows that you're really not paying attention to that person, whether it's male or female. To me, it does. That's just my opinion. It just shows
I agree.
that.
And usually, Justin, whenever you're dating, especially in the beginning, both persons are talking a lot. Yeah. And that's the time when you can just kind of pick up. Oh, she likes chocolate. Oh, he really likes socks.
And I'll say this,
like you said, paying attention.
But one exception, one obsession. I'll say this. I can't say the word. What am I trying to say? Having a brain fart.
That's all right.
But anyway, what I'm trying to say is the exception. One exception, this is what I'm trying to say, is that it's okay to buy something that you want to see them in, but don't just let that be the only thing, right? So it's like, if you're like, okay, this ain't the time, we're like, well, yeah, I wanted to see you in all this sort, and it's not my style and it's not my whatever. You can say, here, this is for you, and then this is extra because I think I want to. It's like, oh, okay. So if I don't like it, it's no pressure. Like, why did you buy me something? I don't like it. I'm not gonna wear. I'm not gonna use it. Let that be extra if you want to buy something that that you're not sure that you want to test out to see if they like or something.
Because this is for you, but this gift is for me because I want to see you in it. Right. You know how some men, like a lot of women, don't wear. And I know I'm probably aging myself now, but negligees and stuff like that. But the man gets it for them because that's really a gift for the man.
Exactly.
And so if you understand that as a woman, it's really not for you. It's really for me, as the man. So, it's that kind of stuff. So, and as you talk though, then you can, and you're communicating, then you can understand, then you'll hear and listen, because there's some things that like, I ain't never gonna, what I'm saying?
Never
and if you
that.
hear that, then don't do it. Even if you like it, don't do it.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And so, last but not least, I'll say this: do whatever you can not to argue. Just don't do it. I don't care
I agree.
how wrong, how whatever. Just take a deep breath and don't just let it go. Just let it go. Because I'll tell you this: you won't remember the argument. You won't remember what it was for, but years down the line, you'll remember that Valentine's Day we didn't have a good time because of this. You know what I mean? We didn't that was a date, whatever. So whatever it is, just let it go. Just you. They got a free pass. They got a free pass to be rude. They got
Exactly.
just just let it go.
Exactly. I
Let it
I
agree
go.
with
like
that.
that. I like
I
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's so interesting that you said that don't argue because a lot of times I have seen situations where it's Valentine's Day and the fella will say, "Well, where do you want to go?"
Oh.
And then the female says, "Well, you haven't thought of no place."
Hmm.
Well, I ain't know what to do. Oh, so you don't pay any attention to me, and that will spark. And then she's talking about you not hanging up your clothes off the
Mm-hmm.
floor. You drive too fast. I
All
hate the
that.
way you sip your coffee, and then it's just a big
That's so true.
just big volcano of lava,
Mm-hmm.
all because you,
And
like Joy said, not paying
one more
attention.
thing. And when you go to dinner, when you go out, don't talk about work. Don't talk about the kids. Don't talk about none of that. Don't talk about it at all. Just I don't care how was work today. That ain't the conversation. How the kids? That ain't the conversation. Don't talk about none of that. Talk about future. Talk about how much you're in love. Talk about those type of memories. You remember when we did this? Remember when we did that? Talk about those things. Don't talk about business that need to be scheduled. Things that need to be done. Leave all of that for February 15th.
Yes,
You're gonna
I
be
agree.
there.
I like that.
Mhm.
Yes.
I remember Justin was the very first person that I heard use coin the term making memories. And I
Mm.
don't know what year it was, but I don't know if it was for he and his wife's anniversary, Joanne, or something. But they took a trip. I think it was
Yes.
for
Yes.
Christmas. I think it
Mhm.
was Christmas, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Mhm.
I think it was Christmas. Anyway, and so Justin posted pictures on Facebook, and he said, uh, "Making memories." And then
Yeah.
after he said that, then I started hearing everybody, kind of like we making memories, making memories. But I think that is so important to do
Yeah.
because in a year's time, you can reflect and say, we had so much fun, as opposed to saying that was the worst Valentine's Day ever.
Okay.
Because those, if good and bad, they stick in your mind.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna make a memory of doing something that's outside the box, as Justin said, and you're not married to the holiday date,
Mhm.
and you do something so spectacular. And when I say spectacular, it doesn't have to be big or anything, but something that's spectacular where it's going to be remembered by
Right.
the other person, and they'll always have a smile on their face and always think about the great time that they had, you know, with that memory. And
Yeah.
I love that, and I think people should really, really
Yeah. I
consider that.
think I think that making memories, because it's a thing, like, you know, I mean, especially in black culture. I mean, how many times do you go out to eat a month? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that happens all the time.
Common.
That's common, right? But if you could, and then what you realize is that when you add up, you know, the gifts that you buy, when you add up the dinner that you're gonna spend, you could just do a quick little weekend trip. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? You could do a quick
Hmm.
weekend trip to anywhere and spending honestly the same amount of money. And your
Definitely.
gift is not, you know what I mean, a necklace or a diamond, but your gift is this hotel room and this new experience that we can say that on this Valentine's Day we went to New Orleans. On this Valentine's Day We went to Chicago. On this Valentine's Day, we went to Frankenmuth. You know what I mean? There's so many places that you can explore right here in Michigan. You know, being centralized in the Midwest is that you can go to Niagara Falls 4 hours away. You can go to Frankenmuth, that's an hour away. I mean, there's so many different places that you can go to. And then too, there's a lot of bed and breakfasts popping up, you know, in the city and around the city and stuff like that. So yeah, make experiences, make memories. Like, you know, don't make dinner plans. You know what I mean? You can, and I know everybody are not fortunate to do that, you know, and that's understandable. So, you know, you gotta play on your level, but you know, with a little intentionality, you can make these things, these experiences grand and not common.
And you know, this may sound so corny, but I remember one time, I might have been I don't know, 19 or 20, and no money, and I don't think I had started working yet, but I had a car. And I remember we just drove from the boulevard, and what was that? Grand River, all the way to Belle Isle, and just looking at sights and having conversation. And I remember her late years after that brought that up about how much fun she had, and I wasn't trying to create a memory. I was just like Justin just said, playing on my level. And that's all we can do is drive around on the boulevard. However, you know, coming from Grand River and the boulevard all the way to Belle Isle, there's a lot of stuff to see. And you know, Detroit is theater on every corner. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
You know, and so yeah, I like to play on your level. And at that particular time, that was my level.
Yeah,
but I was in a beautiful Camaro.
All right now.
He had a real car.
My orange Camaro. But yes. Well, Justin, you really gave us some good food for thought.
Yes.
Good food for thought.
Yes.
For sure.
Joanne, do you have a special memory of something that your husband did, not just for Valentine's Day, but just period?
I have a few, but I know one thing, and I thought about it when Justin brought that up, is that he made reservations at a hotel downtown, and we actually spent the weekend as tourists in Detroit.
Really?
And walked and did some things that I didn't even know that were downtown Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So we acted like we were from somewhere else and just acted like tourists. And I'm telling you, the things that you see, and because when you're here, it's life.
It's life.
You're working every day. You're doing this. You're in church on the weekend. So we just took that whole weekend and just act like we weren't even from. So let's see what we can do that weekend. And I thought that was really, really, really nice. Yeah.
That is. And your husband's a good guy too.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
He's a real good guy. Real good guy. Justin, before we go, anything else you want to add?
No, not necessarily. I guess I'll just recap to make sure the day works for you, right? Just don't be married to the 14th. Whatever day that you guys choose to celebrate, make sure it works for you. Go from there.
Perfect. I love it. Joanne.
Yes. Just have a good time. And you know what? And just love is just what's lacking in this world. So let's just learn to love and just be in love. And first, I guess learn to love ourselves too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us don't love ourselves, and a lot of us don't believe that we deserve love.
You're right.
So you deserve love. I deserve
really do.
love. I deserve to be loved. Yeah. And if you don't have that someone special, but still love on yourself. Love on yourself. It's okay.
That's so good, because there's going to be I say this, if you are single and you're not going out with nobody, or you don't have any special plans, whatever, then hook up with some of your single friends and y'all go out together and y'all take y'all stuff to dinner and y'all,
I love it.
whatever y'all want to do or need to do, whatever. Like, you don't have to let this holiday, or not really a holiday, but you don't have to let this thing be negative in your life. You know what I mean? Like, you have control. Like,
Yeah.
you can love on other people. You can love on yourself. Like Joanne said. So don't let not having a significant other, or a husband or a boyfriend or whatever, weigh you down. There's so many people in this world that need to be loved, including ourselves, like you just said.
Yes.
Well, I want to say that all the people that be running up to the organ after I play,
Rufus.
I will leave it there.
Rufus.
See me on the 10th. Wait, Valentine's Day is on Tuesday, 14th, 13th. What's that, the 11th?
The 11th.
Yeah, 12th.
12th.
Yeah, the 12th. Whatever that Sunday is, the second Sunday in February, when y'all are running over there to that organ trying to get a kiss, you better have a gift bag from the Louis Vuitton shop.
Rufus.
Hey, Brother Bill. Oh, you just played that organ. Oh, the spirit was all over you as they entered in. I'm like, girl, it's still COVID. Step back.
Step back.
Get back.
This made me think about something real quick off subject. But they were, I think it was the Breakfast Club. They were interviewing Lala Anthony, and they was asking her, like, when is, like, if somebody tried to hit at you while you at your son's basketball game, like, when is the right time? When is it appropriate then? When can a guy shoot their shot, whatever. So this makes me think about that, Rufus. And she says, well, it's always inappropriate unless you want the attention. And I said, that makes sense.
Gotcha.
So it don't matter where you at. If it's attention coming from somebody that you don't want it from, then it's inappropriate, right? It's like whatever. So I don't know who that just helped, but it made me think about it, because they come into the organ and you step back, because if you want that attention, you like, come on, lean in. I don't care about COVID. I kiss you.
I'm gonna share this one incident before we go. I was playing at this church, and it was not the church that I currently where I play, but it was so after service was over, the pastor would come out of the pulpit, and he was standing in the center aisle next to the pulpit for his members to come and shake his hand. Well, he would be standing there, and I'd still be sitting on an organ, and I just happened to notice this one particular Sunday that there was a line building up at the organ and I said, oh, y'all not about to get me fired. So as soon as he would do the benediction, I'd get off that organ and hightail it away. Well, one of the ladies that did it all the time was in the choir, not the choir that I played for, but they were preparing for a concert. And so her husband, I was standing in the foyer and just observing the concert. Her husband came up there and I said, hello, mister. And he's like, yeah, I'm up here to see who's getting the attention of my wife. I said, it's not me. Definitely not me, sir.
Oh my goodness.
But because I didn't react to anything that she did, she had moved along to the next musician. And so I wanted to say him, but but I didn't say anything. My name is Wes, and that's it. We had a great time today. We thank everybody who chimed in, Alice and Pamela and Sharon, Denise Smith, and Dr. Eloquent Weaver, Lady Caroline, Diane Flint. We really appreciate you being such great supporters for Talking To. And unfortunately, this is, we're going to go on a little hiatus. Unless we do something next week but we'll see. but officially, this is our last broadcast while we take our break, and then we'll come back in 12 weeks. But all of the shows are there on YouTube.
Yep.
You just go right there to YouTube and put in Talking To, and you'll see everything, and you can still share and still like whatever it is that you see. Now, just because we won't be on every day at 7 o'clock,
Right?
Speaking something on Sundays at 7 o'clock.
Hey.
We're still gonna post things of information and of interest for our list for you, our gracious audience, and we just are so appreciative that you take the time out every Sunday, and you've been so faithful for our 4 seasons. When we return, it'll be our 5th season. Can you believe that? It's our 5th season
Wow.
when we come back. And we'd like to say happy birthday on behalf of Talking To Shay, Alan,
Happy birthday,
Hardy's sister.
Happy birthday to you.
There it is. So you guys, you have a great evening.
You too.
And as always, it's just an honor and a pleasure to be able to share this platform with both of you.
Yes. Likewise.
Love you.
Likewise.
Peace.
Love you. Peace to everyone.